All right. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of XN Interviews. I'm your host XN. Joining me as always is JX. How you doing tonight, man?
I am doing super well. I'm excited to be here, and I think it's Lunar New Year too. So happy Lunar New Year to everyone. But I'm excited to have our guest on.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, happy Lunar New Year to everybody. And yeah, our guest this weekend is the Old Sarge. Some of you may have seen his guides on Twitter or what? Do you post them in Discord anywhere?
Post them in my Discord, and I think I've dropped them in maybe Slayers or Xander's, one of the two. I can't remember. And then I post them on
Very
Reddit as
nice.
well.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Um, yeah. So, what kind of got you into playing MCOC, and what kind of got you into making infographics and what is it, charts and stuff for Cav EQs?
Well, first, I got a little bit of a bone to pick with you guys.
Uh
I don't,
Okay.
I don't understand why you're gonna ask me to come on after DLL,
oh.
right? Like you bring on, the superstar, like head chef at this major restaurant and his new signature dish, and next week you got Frank, the lead fry cook at the local McDonald's. I don't understand, guys.
uh, well,
No,
you
seriously,
know,
I'm happy to be here.
it's
Thank you
definitely a
for
tough act to follow up.
right. No kidding, no kidding. 'Cause it was a great show, and I learned a lot from it. It was really good. He seems like a cool
Yeah.
guy. So no, but
Absolutely.
seriously, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. This is actually my first podcast I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be either really awesome or really good for comedy. People to laugh at afterwards. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Want both.
I thought you
Exactly.
did an episode of Zach Rossi's podcast.
He has mentioned me several times, thanks to Zach. I love
Okay.
Zach. He's awesome. I listen to his stuff. Matter of fact, I'm almost caught up. I'm one behind. He just released one on me, and so I gotta get caught up on his. But
Okay.
yeah, I love that guy. He's great.
Yeah. He's my alliance mate.
Is he? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're lucky.
Yeah, I
You're
met him in
lucky.
person too. What a lad.
As to what got me into MCOC, I'm gonna have to blame my son. So back in December of 2015, I guess it was, he come up and said, "Dad, you gotta do this game." And I had been playing another game. It was like a zombie shooter, whatever, and they had discontinued it, and so I just wasn't playing anything. I don't do a whole lot of video gaming. And he's like, "You got to do this. It's Marvel Contest of Champions. I'm in it. My best friend's in it, and you got to be in it. And we need to start an alliance. And it's something we can do together, Dad." And he just kind of stuck that knife right in there and twisted it with that last part, And I'm like, now he's questioning my dadhood, right? So I gotta commit to this. So I downloaded it and started playing it. And 2 weeks later, I'm like, "Hey, when are we gonna start this alliance?" And he's like, "Dad, we don't play that game anymore."
Aw.
Oh no.
So so I kept playing just kind of off and on, and I ended up finally joining my first alliance, and I had been doing it for about probably 4, 5, 6 months. I didn't know there was a community online. I didn't know any of that. I just was playing the game. And
Right.
uh, finally found this guy Miles, and he was like, "Hey, you should come join my alliance." And I was like, "Okay." And we've been like super best friends, like super close ever since. We still hang out together. We're not in the same alliance as we were, but we're together in a new alliance. So, or at least a different alliance. So I've been playing since 2015. As to the guides, realistically, they started out for me, so I just started jotting them down on paper, so I wouldn't have to like join the quest, see what it was, get back out of the quest, set my lineup, and then go back in. So I just kind of started jotting them down, and I'm in Shade Discord server. I actually own the server now. The guy that had it before me, Evolve, he's taken an extended break, possibly permanent, not sure yet. He had some medical stuff come up. But when I first joined, I'd been there probably a couple months, and I'm like, "Hey, evolve, do you think anyone else would like want this little cheat guide I'm making just for me? And he's like, yeah, let's post it. And so everyone started, saying, hey, thanks, man. Thanks, man. And then they started asking like, well, what can we use here? And who can we use there? And what's good for this? And so I just kind of started making it a little prettier, right? Just adding some, tips and tricks and, popular champs that I thought of that I had that worked. And it kind of just grew from there. Then I started posting it on Twitter, and I think I could be wrong, but I think Imagine Jim. It was either Imagine Jim or Frontline. One of the two of them liked it, and that got some people interested. And then I remember the first time Frontline posted it in one of his roundups, and I was ecstatic, man. I was like, I've hit the big time. I've hit the big time. People know me now. And so it just kind of went from there. I kept prettying it up, changing it up. And then I finally started the website because I just wasn't happy with how the Excel document that I was using looked like on a phone. So I was trying to get it to where it would render better and look nicer for people to make it nicer. And so that's kind of how I got to here. The immunities guide was just because I was tired of trying to figure out who was immune to what, and especially like in war on Path 9, where you've got you got to be immune to like 2 or 3 different things depending on the defender and the node. And so I was like, I'm gonna make a spreadsheet so I can try and capture at least 95% of the champs and what they're immune to, so that I can look up multiple immunities. And see all the champs that have these specific immunities. So it's gotten pretty large. I really need help from the community. I don't know if I'm missing any. So if anyone sees anything I'm missing or whatever, please shoot me a DM so I can update that. I was hoping that Aunt May would get jealous. Slug would get jealous, and that I was thinking I was stealing his limelight, and he would just steal my idea and do it better so I could stop. But he hasn't so far, so I'm going to keep that immunities chart up and hopefully keep updating it. Yeah, that's about it. Just kind of gone off from there, and then Thronebreaker came out, so now I'm making 2 guides, and yeah, it's good times. I enjoy it.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention, like with the immunities guide, that's really helpful because like Chronic Visalgia, the guy that used to make the Venn diagram infographics, we haven't seen those in a few years. So it's good that we get an updated, like immunities list from you. That's pretty sweet. And we applaud you for that.
I love the graphic that used to come out, and I think there's someone who kind of took that over recently. Didn't I see somebody post something? Who was that? Was it Boo? BU?
Okay. Yeah.
Hello?
Was it hello?
Yeah, you're talking about Super Duper Boo?
Yeah, Super Duper Boo. Yeah, he or she posted something. I think it was immunities, like that, kind of taking off that same spin on that. I thought that was really cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's also Avenger. He was posting one. His was like a pink graphic.
Maybe it was Avenger too. Yeah, both of them do some amazing stuff. We have so many talented people in the community. It's nuts that these people, there's just so much talent, and they give up their time for free, right? Like I'm not monetizing any of my stuff either, but this community's cool. That's what's kept me in this game.
Absolutely. We don't monetize our podcasts. Not that I know of. I mean, I don't know if Jay does.
I'm not monetizing YouTube, but I'm extremely close.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I have no issue with that. That's not what I was saying. I just think it's amazing that people volunteer to do these like
yeah, like it's not for the money. It's
exactly. I don't think most of us are getting rich off of this. I don't.
No, only one person we know, and that's Rich the Man. I mean, it's in his name.
His name. I mean, it's his name.
Right.
I'm just joking.
You want to take the next one, Jay?
Yes. I wanted to say that your kid getting you into contests is kind of wholesome for me, though. My dad and my brother play the game, so we still continue to play this game to this day, and we're all in the same alliance with Jim and Zach Rossi.
Cool.
But yeah, it's funny, like you saying the dad card, and my brother played that on my dad, and he's been playing ever since.
It gets you every time, man. It gets you every time.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Um, and yeah, I guess I wanted to ask is like how does your website work for someone who doesn't know what it is? Why should they check it out, etc.
Say that one more time.
Your
How does
website,
it work?
like why
Mhm.
should people go on your website? What can they find on there?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's theoldsarge.net. Same as my handle, just without the underscores. So each month I do the monthly EQ, right? I do a guide for it. I was just doing Cav, obviously, and then they, added Thronebreaker. I seriously debated not doing Cav after I saw the way they have it set up. But there was a pretty good outcry from the younger Cav players and even some of the early Thronebreakers to still put something out there. So I did. The really cool part, at least I guess it's cool for me on the side of making the guide. The boss fights are identical. There's no difference in the nodes for the boss fights between Cav and Thronebreaker. The only thing different is the health pool. Now the health pool is very different, as the community has let Kabam know since it came out for Thronebreaker and all the ones that are underneath it as well. But so yeah, you can find the two different Cav guides under the monthly EQ tab. I have some side quest infographics, so as people make them, I'll throw them up there on the screen. I don't mind putting anybody's stuff up there as long as it's accurate and good.
Yeah,
Like right
King's
now,
in
I
there.
got some Mr. King stuff on there
Absolutely.
for the Mojo's Choice side quest for this month, and then I've got the AQ modifiers. So the new AQ modifiers came out. I made kind of a cheat sheet just for those of us that are setting up AQ all the time and want to see what all the different nodes are. You can download that, and then so I've got that up there. I've got the immunities. That's the one I'm the most proud of, other than the Cav and the Thronebreaker guide. So the immunities is basically just a big spreadsheet. I'm not smart with making websites and databases and things like that. So, but I do a lot of work in Excel and Google Sheets, mainly Excel though. So it's just a big Excel, right? And there's some drop downs at the top. You can sort by whatever they're immune to, as many as you want. So if you're trying to find someone that's immune to almost everything in the game, you can filter. And then those filters reset as soon as you leave and come back. So I kind of got that going on. It's kind of color coded. Like I said earlier, I could use some help from the community. So if anybody wants to throw some information my way, I'm happy to update that. There's an incursions tips and teams. I haven't messed with that too much since the new incursions dropped. I've got some stuff on there of just teams that people in on Twitter land told me they found had worked for them. So that's there. And then the resources page. So I've got a resources page that just has links to everybody's stuff, like Kat Murdoch, all her MCO graphics. She was kind enough to let me link to her Google Drive. Jay, your backgrounds are there. You were
Yeah.
kind enough to let me do that. Just some other some other general links like Aunt May and Frontline, stuff like that. So some of the fun YouTube channels and podcasts, and I need to add you guys as a podcast if I haven't. Oh, I haven't. Oh, slap my wrist and call
Yeah,
me
man.
Nelly.
Come on.
So I will. I'll get you guys added there too under the podcast. That's pretty much it right now. If anyone thinks of anything that might help the community, I'm happy to add it.
Cool.
And if it's too big of a thing, if you suggest it, then I'll probably ask you to help with it because I believe in
That's
inclusion.
fair.
That's the one thing with the Cav guide and the Thronebreaker guide is I take everybody's feedback and I add it in real time. So that guide constantly changes throughout the month. As I go through the quests, I add stuff as people tell me, hey, this champ just really destroyed this and you don't have it on your guide. And I'm like, it is there now. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's a community effort. It's not just the old Sarge doing it. It's the whole community.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. One thing I like about your website with the breakdowns and stuff is that you highlight other people's YouTubes, like for the boss fights and stuff like that. I saw Hammy Plays up there, and I
Yeah.
think that was
A
the
lot
one I
better.
saw now. But
He's listening now.
yeah, that's. I'm sorry. What?
He's listening now. He's on the YouTube side.
That's
Oh.
test.
He said hello.
Uh, Yeah. So, you got another one over there, Jay?
Sure. Okay. What can you tell us about the Old Sarge and Howard the Duck?
I think he's having problems with his mic.
Oh no. All right. We'll wait a second.
Test.
Hello. You back?
Oh, there he is. Can you hear us?
Hello. He's on a new
We can
PC.
hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you a bit. One person with issues is enough. We don't need two. It's gonna be a fun show.
Okay, if you guys can hear me, somehow I lost sound. I don't know what happened. Let me check.
I can hear you now.
See if Discord did something silly.
No, he lost sound,
Everything's there.
so he can't hear us.
Make sure-
Oh no!
You could try leaving and coming back, or see if you have your.
All right, I'm gonna jump in on my phone because I can't hear anybody.
Okay, that's all right.
Give me just a sec. I'll be right back.
You know, something I do is like I have headphones on, and there's a dial to like lower the volume, and I've totally done that to 0. And I wonder if he did that.
Maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just lost all the sound. I don't know what happened.
Okay. I was gonna say maybe hit a dial or something on headphones, but it's,
Nah, I've got a mic on as a computer mic. So.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, weird. I don't know. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about Howard the Duck. What do you fancy him?
I don't know. It's kind of more of a joke at the beginning. The champ came out. He wasn't very good. And I'm an 80s. Well, I mean, I was born in the 70s. I'm 47 years old, so I'm not a spring chicken. And he was just a movie that I watched back in the 80s as a kid. And, it was great back then. Wonderful. Loved it. It was a great movie. Well, it really wasn't, but I enjoyed it. So it kind of just became the icon I adopted in game. And I take it back. I've been Howard the Duck in game since I joined, except for during Pride Month. And then I changed to, one of the Pride icons. But once Pride Month is over, then I usually change back to good old Howie. I don't know. I just always liked the duck. I grew up with the movie, and that's where what I stayed with. And then when I started doing the guide and getting on Twitter and all that stuff, I figured why not. And then so I'm a retired sergeant from the U.S. military, and so that's where the Old Sarge comes from. I don't know if I took a question from you. If I did, I apologize. But
it was gonna be one. But it's all good. It's all good.
So then one of the guys, Papa, what's his Papa's Squishy, Papa Squishy. He designed a logo for me with of a Howard the Duck with a helmet on, kind of smoking a cigar, and so. And then someone else, I apologize, I can't remember who it was, did a second one. So I've got a couple of them that I rotate between. But yeah, that's where Howard came from. He's just more of a joke than anything, just to show how old I am and how lame I am.
Very nice. So where are you at with your progression? Are you Thronebreaker? Are you Paragon?
I am Paragon, which is crazy to me because it took me forever to make Thronebreaker. I was way late getting Thronebreaker. I was still, a lot later than a lot of the community with getting Paragon. But I'm rocking Paragon. It cost a lot of units. I had to brute force my way through a couple of fights, but that's all right. I put the mediocre and mediocre guide, and that's for sure. But yeah, that's it. I'm rocking at Paragon now. I've got 8.2 is 100% explored. I think I've got some paths in 8.1, and then 6 and 7 I still got to do.
Okay. What about Abyss or Labyrinth? Have you done any of those?
I have absolutely not. I man, they just that long brutal content that kills me. I've gone in and goofed around with it a little bit, but and I'll probably, now that I've got some higher ranked champs and my roster has gotten pretty fat, I'll probably look at doing it. But I don't know. I I really like the EQs. I like AQ. I know everyone hates Alliance Quest. I like Alliance Quest. I think it's fun. I use Alliance Quest. We only run like map 5, right? So uh, I was in one of the higher tier alliances in Shade for a while, and I just kind of got burnout on it and doing the higher maps, and so I swapped down to the one I'm in now, Hype, and we run map 5 with some epic mods, and then we do like, if you want to join war you can, so we just do 1 BG optional, and so that's a lot more fun, because if I don't want to do war, I just don't do war. If the only thing I got to do is AQ, and I can sleepwalk through map 5. So I use map 5 as like my test ground. Right now I'm running Hercules because I'm trying to get used to him, but yeah, the longer form content, I don't know, the EOPs were rough on me. That was especially at the end where you got to go through them all. Uh, yeah, I don't do the longer difficulty stuff. A lot of it is because I have kids, right? So a 20-minute fight is I can't push a kid off for 20 minutes when he's like, Dad, I think I broke my finger, So Dad,
Right, right.
I forgot to put water in the Easy Mac, and now the microwave is on fire, which has happened twice. So
It's happened here too.
Wow.
So
I
yeah,
get
I might get it eventually. It's just hard when you got little younger kids. Although my kids are growing up now, so maybe here
absolutely.
soon. Maybe I'll try one soon. Maybe it'll inspire me.
All right. So you mentioned Eternity of Pain. Have you done any of the Eternity of Pain yet that just came out?
Oh, so the like, what is it? The Boss Rush Eternity of
The
Pain, or
acceptance.
whatever
Yeah.
it's called. Yeah. No, I haven't tried it yet. Mainly because of trying to get the guide out and do these side quests. I just haven't had time to sit down and plan it out. Um, the guide takes a good portion of my time, and it's now that I'm doing 2 of them, but it's even a little bit more. But those side quests were pretty rough, and this Thronebreaker difficulty, I've had to do a bunch of restarts on paths, especially the one that's frustrated me the most probably is in 3-1. It's if you go up to the first portal A, and hang a right, and there was some tough fights for me on that. That I had to. I think I restarted that path 5 or 6 times, just because I didn't want to spend units and spend revives on it. So they've definitely upped the difficulty, or at least the health pool anyway. And a lot of these champs, like, so the nodes are the same, right, for the most part. But what I've noticed is with these increased health pools, their abilities trigger a lot more, especially on champs that get like Arcus. He keeps getting all those power gains. If you can't kill him fast, you might as well just stop and start over, because eventually it's just SP3 after SP3. So yeah, so these longer fights are killing me. But yeah, I'll probably try the boss rush, especially since it's permanent content. I haven't really stressed out about it, but I am enjoying the side quests this month. These have been pretty cool.
Okay. What do you like about the side quests so far?
I think they're just a little bit different. I like the objectives. They've been pretty difficult. I think it's good that they're very generic, with just based off of class versus new Avengers and X Force, because I don't some of those get pretty specific and limiting with the champs that you can run. I like the objective of having to get the boss in one go. Brought a few different champs. My favorite champ so far for this week, or this past week, was King Groot. With all his regen, he was just able to outlast the fight for me. So I'm kind of enjoying that. I don't really care about the rewards from the objectives, because I can't stand the relics. Well, I don't mind the relics. I can't stand where they place the button because I have big old paws for hands, and that's right where I tap. And so I keep launching my relic champ when I don't want to. So the rewards for the objectives aren't awesome for me, but I do like the rewards for completing the pass. They're pretty spicy this month.
All right. Jay, you got another one over there?
Yes. Okay, well, I always like to ask this question, but if you could add one character to the game, who would it be? Oh, did we lose you?
No, I'm there. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. I'd really like to see Batman, but that's not going to happen. So, because I actually grew up DC. I'm a DC guy from back in the day, but all the DC games, I just haven't enjoyed them on mobile. So, if I had to pick a Marvel champ, though, I'd probably really like to see Adam Warlock come in.
I mean, I think he's coming.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm excited for that.
Pretty soon, eh?
Yeah, 4 months soon.
Yeah, due up soon. I'd like to see him come in. Hopefully the game's still around then. I think it will be.
Absolutely. I think the game's like pretty good for the next 2 years. Like absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. People have been talking about its demise since I started playing. So.
And then they've watched the numbers and how much the money goes up.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably the big one that I'm excited for coming up. I was happy we got Mantis. That was one I was really wanting to get.
Yeah.
That was exciting. I really wish we could get Fat Thor. That would make me happy.
You know what's funny is I just shared a pic with Exen about Emrock. There was supposed to be a video for before the game ended, and it was going to be on Thor's, and one of them was Fat Thor.
Nice.
Yeah, one of them was Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, Beta Ray's another one I would really like to see come in. I wasn't going to bring him up because I didn't want to,
Steal thunder.
You didn't want to open any wounds.
Exactly. I was trying to be not heartless. I'm surprised we haven't gotten him yet.
Oh man, it's funny. It's not funny. It's sad that we get Zemo this month, probably Agatha at the end of the year, and no Beta Ray Bill in sight.
It'll be a long time coming, that's for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And he better be good when he comes in. He better not be Groot 2.0.
Oh no. Maybe Groot 2.0. Maybe Groot 2.0 when he gets buffed. That'll be a good thing to say.
You mean when he gets nerfed because he's gonna be so good. Speaking of Summoner's Choice, who are you voting for this year?
Yeah.
Oh,
out of your 4 choices.
Yeah, out of my 4 choices. I think I started out with was it
Deathlock.
Deathlock, yeah, thank you. Yeah. Deathlock was my first one. Doesn't look like he's gonna be there much or be there any longer. So I think I went with what's that one? The kind of feline-y one
White
that
Tiger?
Everyone's talking. Yeah, White Tiger. Yeah. So I think that looks like a great champ. So that's who I'm going with now, White Tiger. So I say that in jest because I've seen a lot of people. Why are you voting for White Tiger? Vote for White Tiger.
Yeah, it's so funny. I got asked to make a video for her before the vote was even announced, so I knew she was coming with the vote, and I was like, "There's no way I think she'd win this whole thing." But looking at my data, like the sample data I've taken over since it started, she's like incredibly in the lead. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, I kind of was too. I'm all for more female representation, and I'm all for more animal representation in the game. I dig all those champs. Have been really cool so far. But yeah, I'm excited. I think she's probably gonna. I hope she takes it. That's what I'm voting for. So
yeah. Two of my top 3 made it. White Tiger and Gladiator. I kind of want White Tiger more than Gladiator, so I hope she does win as well. What about
I
X?
see you, Mr. King. White Tiger FTW.
For the win. Let's go.
You already know that.
What's that?
Vote for Spider Punk. Y'all already know that.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think to get into this round, the semifinals, it was between Spider Punk and Deathlock, and I think Spider Punk just got it out over Deathlock.
I don't know. I don't hate Spider Punk. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel you. I want to see, I want to see some like doing like guitar riffs and like doing sonic waves. Like if he wins, I know he'll be great. Any champion,
Yeah,
like for
that
sure.
would be cool. Yeah, they would have to. Yeah.
Hammy said he wanted Gladiator. It's a good choice. Good choice for sure. Okay.
Gladiator would definitely be a good choice.
Yeah, he was one for years that I've been saying I wanted.
I feel like he's going to be like really OP though too. You know, he's going to be one of those.
We'll see. Because Kabam have been clearly saying don't vote for who you think is going to be the most OP champion. So if he wins and he's not OP, don't be surprised. Just saying.
Right.
Like I think it's kind of funny.
What about Bullseye? Would you guys think? You think he's got a shot?
I think I don't know. It's weird because he had a lot. People say, "Oh, he's been in 3 votes. He's automatically coming." Not true. All right, guys. He was in the second vote. He lost. He didn't even get past round 1. So then he went to the underdog vote and then won the underdog vote and now he's in the semifinals. I think he's incredibly popular, and I don't personally see anything with him. Like I don't have that connection to him, but if he wins, I think he'll be fine for sure. Lots of cool mechanics you could do with him.
Yeah, there definitely is some cool mechanics they could do with him. He's not one of my favorite champs. I think he'd be fun. I don't have a problem with any of the champs in the game. Like I've said before, diversity of roster is what I live and die by. So, if he can counter something that I can't counter now, I'll take him.
Yeah. He'd probably have like guaranteed like crits and and stuff like that. It'd be pretty crazy as a skill champ.
I still pull out my Gladiator Hulk every time I see a Mojo on the path. So,
Hammy said he's not feeling Bullseye either. He'd never miss. Yeah, that's something as well. He's pretty cool. I gotta say, I loved him in Daredevil.
Colin Farrell's version, or are you talking about the comic?
I'm talking about the not Colin Farrell's. Talking about the TV show, not.
I'm dating myself.
Yeah. You gotta remember, I turned 21 in 2 months.
I'm so old.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm not too far behind.
That's all right.
I'm like right in between you guys, probably.
Right. Stay young as long as you can, man. I try to stay young at heart. So.
Right.
I haven't aged in a while, guys. It's just what my birth document says.
You got another one over there, Jay?
Yeah. Jeez, you're young, Jay. Thanks, Hammy. Hammy's got a ton. All right, so I'm gonna read them. What's your favorite EQ in recent memory?
Oh gosh, you guys are asking me to remember things. Remember, I'm old. Let's see.
Yeah, I can send you a pic of like the champions last year and before then.
Yeah, throw them up there because that'll help jog my memory.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you! You were already on it, like you were prepared or something.
Well, maybe.
I tell you, the one I didn't like is Sauron because I hate Sauron and I hate fighting him, and he should not be in the game. He's horrible. Probably, I think the Quicksilver EQ was pretty fun. I enjoyed that. They kind of start blending together a little bit.
Yeah, I feel you
after a while, we've had so many of them.
So, do you read the event quest?
So I used to before I started making the guide.
Okay.
And now so what happens is I'm trying to get through the fights to get the guide out, right? Because it takes a long time to make the first to get to the point to where I can post it on Twitter is a lot of typing, right? I have the nodes and I have the champs and all kind of pre-staged because I just keep an Excel doc with all those because those haven't really changed much. But I still have to read them to make sure that Kabam didn't tweak something while I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Because they did do that when they moved up to Thronebreaker, when they bumped those nodes up. Some of them are tweaked just a little bit, like 15% change to 20% or 20% change to 15%. And so I still have to read through the nodes. I have to go to the boss, read, and then type all their nodes out. And I suck at typing. So I'm old enough that I didn't have typing as a kid, like in school or anything. And so I don't type. I peck at the keys, right? So that takes me a little while. And then getting all the going to Aunt May and stealing / borrowing all the picks from there for the champs. And so, usually I'm not done until, later on in the afternoon or late evening, even depending on how long it takes or when I can, take a lunch break from work or something to work on it. So I speed through the fights to get to it. And so what has happened is now it's become thumb memory to just skip and go. And so what I try to do is when I go do the lower tier stuff, I try to remember not to just skip through it, but it's just such a...
I know it happens.
You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
a habit.
for sure.
It's just automatically click, click, click. So I get about 3/4 to half of the story most of the time. I haven't read any of the story this time yet. Because Thronebreaker's really slowed down my pace here because I have to actually think about it and plan who I'm going to bring and look at my champs. Just because the health pools are so large. So I can't just bring, an R4 5-star in there like my Luke Cage and smash through the science quest because he just doesn't have enough health to get through the fight. So yeah, I really wish we could go and read it after the fact. Like there was just a button at the end that said, "Hey, were you an idiot and skipped all the content but still want to read the story? Here, you can watch it all in order." That would be cool.
Well, that's why I skip everything and then just go watch Jay's channel.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I need to do. You're right about that. But yeah, some of the story content is really, really funny though. I do enjoy it.
Oh yeah, the Deadpool ones are so good.
Yes, yeah, they're always great. The writers do a pretty good job. Some of them are really cheesy. Some months that I've read, I'm like, that was bad. Probably Chair was my favorite though. I think out of all of them, I wish they'd bring Chair back more often.
Oh yeah,
more. I loved Chair.
Yeah, he showed up in like SP3s recently with Quicksilver and Titania. Get him back into the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Make him a playable character.
He'd be too OP. Hey.
Make him play.
It's funny. I wrote an article on him as an unplayable character. Like if you go to the MCOC wiki, he's a character. It's pretty funny.
Nice.
Okay, there you go, Mr. King. I was just about to send the page as well.
The Chair. There it is.
What's your favorite DC character?
So Superman was, the biggest thing growing up. Superman and then Batman when the original movies started coming out. Like when Michael Keaton. Well, the first two, the last two are not good with Val Kilmer.
You're talking about the Tim Burton films?
Yeah. Those were good. Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Those versions were not good at all. But yeah, I did. So I like Batman. I like Superman. But if I had to pick one that is not, or at least back, it wasn't as popular, it'd probably be Firestorm. I really like Firestorm. He was coming on the scene, pretty popular when I was young, and so that was cool. Green Lantern, of course, is awesome. But yeah, Firestorm probably my favorite as a kid. I like the joining together and that kind of stuff. So that was cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
just pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's that?
Go ahead, Jay.
You could say I was.
Justice League is pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah.
The movie?
No, like
the team?
comic book.
Oh, the comic book, yeah. And I mean, I used to dig on Super Friends, back in the day with the Wonder Twins and Shape of a Pail and all that. So that's probably too old for you guys. But.
I watched reruns of it, so I know what it is. It's completely
Shape
dated.
Of a pail. Shape of a puddle of water.
Yeah. Yeah, those were more innocent times back then, I think.
What were you gonna say, Jay?
I was gonna say Firestorm is awesome. Like I love seeing him in the Injustice games, on the Arrowverse with the CW, on Legends of Tomorrow, and the animated stuff for DC. He's a cool character. I love him.
Yeah, he's cool, and he's got fire for hair. So I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, man, hell yeah. And he can change elements. Like, dude, this you know how rich he could be. Just saying.
Exactly. That's why I will never be a superhero, because it would like a power like that. Because that's what I would.
Yeah. I think my favorites is when he just turns when he changes stuff to kryptonite. It's like, you need kryptonite, here you go.
Is the Legend of Tomorrow, is that still coming out with new episodes, or?
Nah, the entire CW got canceled. Like all their projects got canceled. So
okay.
Yeah. The Flash is having its final season, which will be the final CW DC show. So
did CW lose the rights? I never saw.
Discovery merged with Warner Bros. So they were like, we're canceling all this.
Yeah, I know they did a bunch of crazy stuff like with Batgirl and all that, and DC's been such a dumpster fire. It just has.
Sorry, I just.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, DC. We'll see what happens under James Gunn's wing. I mean, he did good with Guardians, so you can't really diss him too much.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I think he'll be fine. I was gonna say Legends Tomorrow itself is a great show. It's the most bonkers show. It's funny, just the way it turned out.
Yeah, I definitely remember watching the first season, and it was like, wait a minute, what is happening here?
Yeah. It's funny. That's the most serious season ever. And then as the season progresses, it just gets more wonky and weird, and they fight a giant demon teddy bear. It's a fun show. Like you forget it's DC and comics and just enjoy for it. It's just like Doom Patrol. It's just bonkers, which is cool.
Now, is Doom Patrol good? I haven't seen much of that.
I don't like it as much as Legends Tomorrow, but it's still wonky. It's very an adult show.
Okay.
They fight zombie giant butts. Yeah, no one silence for that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just take it as it sounds.
It's literally it's like someone's fever dream. But there is a character called Crazy Jane, and she's literally just Legion but DC, and it's so cool. That's why I mainly watch it for her. But Cyborg's on the team. It's got Brendan Fraser as Robot Man. He's pretty cool.
Nice.
Who doesn't love Brendan Fraser?
Absolutely, dude.
Oh,
I need to watch. Yeah, I need to watch The Whale. I've been hearing great stuff about it. I saw the trailer and it was just so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. It's on my to watch list.
Yeah, he won Best Actor of the Year for it, so that's something.
Right. After not doing anything for a long time.
Yeah, his career like everyone just turned against him, and it's just so sad to see. And to make such a comeback is so awesome.
Yeah, and to turn against him for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking forward to Batgirl. Oh yeah, he was supposed to be Firefly. I would have loved to see that. Same thing.
Yeah, that.
Discovery canceling that.
They did that. Yeah, it hurts.
Too bad.
Yeah,
it hurts me.
It sucks to Also, it sucks DC's like ending with their current stuff, but I really hope the reboot is gonna help make a brighter future for DC because Marvel's just killing them.
Oh yeah, absolutely killing them. It's sad. That DC's put out a couple of good movies. Wonder Woman, the first one was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was epic. It easily rivaled, in my mind, any Marvel movie other than like Avengers, right? Aquaman was pretty good. I had a good time with that. I enjoyed it. Of course, then all that craziness with Amber Heard came up, but so yeah, that happened. But everything else they've made, Superman was okay. I don't know. It had a weird vibe. I don't know. The character, like the actor, is amazing. Don't get me wrong. He is Superman. He nailed that. But just I don't know. The movie it had a weird vibe to me.
I totally agree. Actually, I feel like it feels like two different movies once you're halfway through it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Hopefully they can do a good job. I mean, I'm looking forward to some new stuff and rebooting it, but we'll see what happens. I'm sad they're not bringing Henry along though for the ride.
Yeah, you know the best.
I agree.
The best DC is Smallville. Let's all agree on that.
Yeah, dude, I loved Smallville whenever it was airing.
Me too. It was my favorite kid. It was one of my favorite shows as a kid because I was a kid.
Absolutely. That like Heroes. Did you guys ever watch Heroes?
That is.
Oh yeah, Heroes. Yeah.
That I swear no one knows what the show is, and I tell people to watch it all the time. Literally my favorite show, like outside of Legion and Smallville. Literally my top 3.
Yeah.
Have you watched second, like the rebooty?
The Reborn.
Reborn.
No, I did watch it. It was terrible. I don't know why they made it. Like, why?
Yikes.
And they didn't bring back Peter Petrelli. Like guys, come on.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I tried watching it. I think I made it through most of it, but I don't know. It just wasn't the same.
Yeah, they were just cash grabbing it. Oh, I wear I wear a necklace. I wear the half the. What do you say? Here, like Heroes Nakamura's, like on his katana.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, the half DNA. I wear it all the time, and
nice.
I'm making a metal version of it in my Wear Metals class.
Oh,
yeah.
Very cool.
I love it.
So Heroes is one of your what, top 3? You said
it. Honestly, it is my top 1. Like I say, Legion's my favorite Marvel thing of all time, but I say Heroes is my favorite thing of all time. I've seen the show like 12 times.
So for me, I'd probably have to say series. I guess Star Trek because I'm a huge Trekkie, but Supernatural.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love Supernatural, and I'm gonna go and tap on my kind of feminine side, and this is gonna probably make a lot of people go, "What the Gilmore Girls?"
Okay.
I know. But if you ever watched it, the dialogue in that show is probably the most impressive from just a dialogue standpoint. They actually, I think I remember my wife telling me this because she's a huge Gilmore Girls fan. She got me into it. They have more words per episode than like any other show because they're just so fast. And I don't know, it's just so well written. So my wife made me watch it because we only had one TV and that's what she wanted to watch. And so it was on repeat for like years in our house. So Gilmore Girls, I'm down with the Gilmore Girls. I'll watch it. But Supernatural is probably my favorite. And then of course, right now I'm actually rewatching all the way through Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm on the last season finally. It's taken a while. There's a lot of episodes. And so I'm getting close to that, but I'm going back through because I missed a bunch of Star Trek when I was stationed overseas, couldn't get it, and so I'm going back and watching every episode of every Star Trek series. Almost done.
Cool.
Very nice.
My dad's a Star Trek fan. I'm not into it as much. There's nothing wrong with it. lots of series like that, like with Supernatural. If I didn't have time to watch it all, I would not got onto it. But right now with Star Trek, it's the same thing. It's like I want to go back to the originals and watch it all the way through. I just have not found the time to do it yet.
There's so many.
Yeah,
There's so because like the Next Generation has seven. I think it's 7 seasons, and I think there's like 26 episodes a season or something like that.
Yeah, it's just a time thing. So
Yeah.
But I plug away at it. I had never seen DS9 ever, and so I watched that for the first time before I started the Next Generation. My run through that, and oh man, I tell you what, DS9. The first season was rough, but after that, I loved it. It's probably one of my favorite versions of Star Trek. So now after watching it, so yeah, I dig it.
Very nice. I don't know if you guys have Apple Plus TV, but I started watching a show called Severance, and it's really good.
cool.
I don't want to spoil it too much.
I've seen the trailer, but I don't have Apple Plus. It looked like a mind-boggling show, which is something I like.
Yeah, it's definitely a like it's not like a M. Night Shyamalan twist, but it definitely I'll
have to take a look at that. I'll be looking for something soon. I'm almost done with Star Trek. I did watch the first season of Wednesday. If you haven't seen that, that's amazing.
I have not yet.
Really good. Oh, it's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Well, my sister definitely got into a Wednesday phase after watching that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because I grew up with the Addams Family, so I mean I wasn't on when it was airing the first time, easy, but back in the day. But yeah, I grew up with watching the reruns of the Addams Family, and so that and the Munsters. So that was cool to see that come back to life.
Sweet. And Jenna Ortega might be playing White Tiger in the MCU. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I've seen that. That sounds familiar, but yeah, that's gonna be. She was really good.
Very nice.
Really and Wednesday.
Yeah.
She killed it. Colin says Psych is his top show. We've watched Psych. I like that show too.
Yeah.
Good.
Psych is funny.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but MCOC stuff.
Yeah, that was a fun
Well,
tangent. Nah, I enjoyed it.
But yeah, there was a type of content that you could bring back. What would it be?
Oh, Rocket Scrapyard.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
That was good.
That just happened.
Well, I meant like the original.
New one or the
I don't
old
know.
one?
The original has a lot of nostalgia. This one.
I know what you mean for sure.
Well, this one was fine, except for that weird run the path to get the rewards thing that took forever, and I finally just stopped doing that part and waited till the store came out. But that was crazy. What was the other one? Was it the Pirates one? No.
The
Mutant
Deadpool
Treasure Island.
Yeah, I really like Treasure Island. That was a blast. I did enjoy that one. I wish they would bring that again, like annually.
We had Eclipse on, and he said it was coming back, but we never got it in the same way. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think that one had such amazing rewards. I don't know if they'll do it.
You're cutting
again.
out, Exen. Sorry.
I was gonna say, didn't we get like a version of it whenever Betsy Braddock came in?
Yeah, just didn't feel the same.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the rewards were quite as juicy. That Mutant Treasure Island had kick-ass rewards. Can I cuss on this? Sorry, kick-butt rewards.
Yeah,
you can.
I try to keep it. I try to keep it tame, trying to keep my inner soldier from coming out.
No, you're all good. But yeah, Mutant Treasure Island. I loved the first edition of it. Like the first rendition was amazing. You couldn't have beat the rewards there.
No, it was amazing. It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got another one over there?
Let's see here. Hammy said that Heroes went off the rails. Kind of. Still entertaining as hell, though. Hi, Old Sarge, Marvelous says, I have a huge crush on Alexis Bledel from the Gilmore Girls.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hammy says Star Wars or Star Trek or both.
So, kind of crazy. So, Star Trek is my first love, right? Like, that's that's probably the thing I love the most. But in my office, I have the most Star Wars collectible stuff, right? It's just almost impossible to get Star Trek stuff, but Star Wars is everywhere. So, I've got like all kinds of Legos and pops and all that kind of stuff, and the little like Hot Wheels style Star Wars. They come with their own little stands and stuff. Got almost all of those. I think I've got them all. But Star Trek though. I don't know, science. I was always into science, and I'm an IT guy now, so Star Trek's kind of my first love. But yeah, I enjoy Star Wars. Star Wars has done some good stuff here lately, not with the movies, but with their shows.
Yeah.
So.
I would agree on that.
The movies weren't bad. They could have been better.
Yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I really like Star Killer, and I have like every collectible known, most collectibles, and I have a full life replica of Cal Kestis's blade on the way, so I'm excited to get that from Jedi Fallen Order.
Nice.
Yeah, that new game comes out soon too. So let's go.
It's crazy. I didn't geek out as much with Star Wars as I did with Star Trek. That's all. I don't know why. I think because Star Trek had more stuff, or more content when I was younger.
Yeah.
Right, because like with Star Wars, we just had the 3 movies, and then you could read comic books and books.
Yeah.
And then you had the Christmas special, right? So, but Star Trek was on every week, and you had new episodes and stuff. So that's probably why Star Trek's my favorite.
Well, Star Trek also comics as well too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but this year for Christmas, my kids they specifically went out and bought me like Star Trek stuff, right? So I guess they made like the bathtub duckies, rubber duckies.
Yeah.
They have Star Trek ones now, and they come in their own little tiny tub. I'll have to snap a pic and send it, put it in chat. But
okay.
So I got Kirk and Spock, and then as rubber duckies, and then they got me like a Spock, like a G.I. Joe type action figure Spock, but he's got like, it's sad though, right? So it's got the gloves that he wore, when he died, when he went into and got all irradiated trying to save the ship, and the needs of the many outweigh the needs of, so it's that one. So I was like, oh, it's so sad he dies here. My kid's like, oh, I'm gonna do it for Christmas.
That's fine.
So what else you got over there, Jay? Sorry.
Oh, good.
Colin says his only serious question is, why don't you change your Twitter profile picture to Venom the Duck during October?
That's a good question. I saw that a few seconds ago, and I don't know. What did I have for October? Didn't I do a spooky thing? I don't know if it was Venom though. I think it was just something off of one of the old Howard the Duck comic books.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good idea. I might do that next year, Colin. I just need to find a good picture that you can see in 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch space.
I can send you plenty.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that's a good idea. I'll try to do that next year for sure.
Cool. Charlie asks, when are we going to talk about voodoo?
When we're going to talk about voodoo, Charlie. Charlie's he's good people. We DM a lot on Twitter. I'm happy to know him. He's a good guy. So if you guys aren't following him, he's actually very intelligent, and but he is kind of an a-hole for bringing up Dr. Voodoo. So I love Dr. Voodoo. I finally got him as a 6-star, but I haven't duped him yet. And as we all know, Dr. Voodoo is not Dr. Voodoo until he's duped Dr. Voodoo.
Yeah.
So I have 2, before Charlie says this, I have 2 generics that I'm holding on to. And the only reason I'm holding on to them is because I'm saving up for the iDoom, right? I've got 370-ish thousand shards saved up for this new featured crystal because I really want iDoom. So I'm kind of holding off just to see who's going to be in the rest of the pool. At least I haven't seen that released yet. In case Dr. Voodoo's in there. And the other one is Hyperion. So I finally got a 6-star Hyperion. And so I can't decide who to use it on because I want to save one for iDoom in case I'm extremely unlucky and only pull him once out of the 400,000 shards I'm going to have. Yeah, so that's why Dr. Voodoo is probably my favorite mystic to play with. He's like, I keep telling people, they're like, Dr. Voodoo, why do you like him? I'm like, he's like, if Magic and Archangel had a kid, that would be Dr. Voodoo. Because he just, I mean, he's got Spirit Venom and he just destroys buff heavy champs, and then he can power control like crazy. So I really like him. So that's Charlie told me he was going to bring that up.
Okay. I don't think I have a 6-star Dr. Voodoo yet.
Have you ever messed with the 5-star or the 4-star?
Maybe whenever I was going through
Back
like
in the day.
Act 4 and 5, yeah.
Oh, he's so good. People sleep on him, and he can just do a ton of damage, especially if they get buffs. Now, if they don't get buffs, not as great.
Yeah.
But for power control, if you launch that SP2 off of an even count, man, you don't have to really worry about dodging specials for a long time, if ever.
I need the 6-star.
Good to know.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's a hard counter from some fights.
Yeah, he's amazing. I like him. I mean, he's no Doctor Doom. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. People are like, well, I've got Doom. What do I need him for? I'm like, he does different things than Doom. You know, like I said, diversity.
Absolutely, yeah. You were talking about awakening gems. So for the banquet event, I think I got 2 6-star awakening gems, like the generic ones, and then I got a 6-star mystic. What did you get from the banquet rewards?
I'll trade you the mutant I got for that mystic, and then I will have a duped Dr. Voodoo.
Well, I already used it on Rentra.
I've got Ren too. I gotta play around with him a little bit more as well. But I got a mutant, and I think I got 1 generic. I guess I didn't spend enough money. I don't know, to get 2 generics. I don't think I got 2 generics from that. So I'm saving them. I've got a Herc that's not duped. That's another reason. I'm trying to get good at him. I'm struggling with intercepting with him.
Okay.
I know he's got the thing, but for whatever reason, I'm not timing it right, and they keep kicking my ass. So I'm working on it. That's why I'm using him in AQ. And if I get to where I really like him and I'm really good at him, then I'll throw a gem on him. But yeah, I've got my mutant. I'm trying to figure out who to use that on now. I can't decide. So the only ones I really have are APOC, and he doesn't really need it. And then I'm seriously considering Colossus. I just took him to rank 2 today, or I think whenever level up was up. And then the only other person I've got that I would even consider would be Gambit, but all my other mutants are pretty much duped. I don't have Archangel yet, so I figure I won't get Archangel until I use the Awakening Gem on someone else.
Right. That's usually how.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you get any specialty champs like Jessica Jones or anybody like that from the banquet event?
No, I didn't get any.
Oh.
Well, I'd like 4s and 5s maybe, but I don't really at this point. I don't really rank up too many 5s. But no, I didn't. I haven't been pulling much crystals other than the side quests. The little shards that we get for the Cavalier crystals or whatever they're called. I'm still hoarding for iDoom, so I don't go for any of those types of champs right now until I can get my iDoom to go with my other Doom.
All right. Jay, you got another one?
Yes, I'll read chat real quick. One and only. Let's talk about how he got me the 6-star blue Cyclops in Capital Blue 2.
So, all right, Dewan, I see you. So Dewan, I actually know Dewan in real life. Great guy, great guy. He really is. Young guy. He's thirsty. He's trying to make a success of his life, and I'm there for it. He's trying to kick off a music career, so
Nice.
I'm supporting him. Not like supporting him, but like I support his ambition and his goals. And so anyway, I met him, and he actually knows my son. Works with my son, and so my son was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing this Marvel Contest of Champions game," and my boy was like, "Oh, my dad, he plays that," and he's like, "He does," and he's pretty big into it too. Like he runs a Discord server and with like a bunch of alliances, and he's on Twitter and stuff like that. And yeah, you should talk to him. So I talked to him, and I was like, "Hey man, you're just starting out." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I got a job for you. I need someone to run my beginner alliance." He's like, "Run it?" I'm like, "Yeah, join. You'll be in charge. I'm gonna make you the leader right now." So he's been leading my beginner alliance for a while now and doing a great job. So shout out to him. But yes, he did. He came over and he's like, "Hey man, I need you to pop this crystal. I can't do it." I was like, "You sure? Because I don't have great luck." And he's like, "Yeah, just do it. And so I got him a blue Cyclops. And so I was it hurt me. Very it hurt nice. Me. Yeah. It hurt my soul to do that to that man.
Yeah. Well, at least he doesn't have him at SIG 60.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. Other than that, you got anything else?
But Dewan, I think when you got home, you popped a couple other crystals and you got some good champs. So I think you did okay that night. So that's all
right. Marvelous says, "What do you like most about running the Shade Discord, and what do you find most challenging?"
So it was kind of thrust upon me. I didn't really want to like own the server. So some of you guys may know Evolve, some of you may not. He's been around for a while. So he started Shade and built it up and was running it. And so him and I really hit it off. And I kind of became kind of like what's known as a first sergeant in the military. You know, the dad of the troops that administers the punishment, tells everyone to knock it off. Get off my lawn, stop being a butthead, that kind of stuff. So I was kind of doing all that, like the sheriff, and I was doing some other stuff with Evolve in the background, helping out with some stuff. But when he got sick, he kind of just handed the server off to me, and I didn't even know I owned it. Like I didn't know I was the owner of the server. And it's right now we're creeping up on 800 members, cool. Probably 300 of which are active on the server, right? But back then I think we were running around 600 or so, maybe. So I just someone was like, "Hey, Sarge, I see you on the server." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And so I couldn't get a hold of Evolve because he just, like I said, he was going through some stuff. But so it kind of was thrust on me. I wasn't really looking for that, but at the same time, I like a lot of the people that are in the server, and being military, it's just one of those things where when you're given a duty, you do it, I guess. So now I like it because it doesn't matter what I do, no one can kick me out. But I also like it because I'm a fair person, and I don't. So I'm not, like there's some other servers that are just kind of let people either go wild, or their moderators are super heavy-handed and kind of jerks. And so I don't allow our server to be that way. So that's what I like, that I can make sure that it's a safe place. Like I can guarantee it that it's a safe place, because anytime someone starts doing something that's against the rules, like racist comments or homophobic comments or derogatory, whatever, they're no longer members of that server. And so I can keep it a safe place. And so that's what I like about it, about running it, is I have ultimate control and the ability to make it a place that people want to be versus a toxic environment, right? So that's what's the most challenging. I would say the most challenging thing is managing egos. So, especially people that get larger accounts, sometimes that comes with an ego. Thankfully, we haven't had too much of that in Shade, at least not in the recent times. But we did in the past. We had some big alliances, that we sheltered, and some of their people had some ginormous egos, and that's something that I have a hard time with, because I think everyone should just be nice. I don't see a reason to not be nice. You know what I mean? Just because you have a 6-star SIG 200 Doom doesn't mean you should talk down to the person that has a 3-star Doom that's not duped, right? So I try to managing egos is tough, and we ended up losing our top alliance, our top couple alliance a while back, just because of egos, and on both sides, not just them. I'm not pointing them out at all, but there was just the upper leadership of Shade had some egos. And so I try to keep it pretty chill now. I don't have much of an ego, and I try to, run things to where everyone is on the same playing field. So our beginner alliance has the same vote as our top alliance when it comes to making changes or doing things in the server. And it seems to work a lot better that way. We're all on the same playing field. So I don't play favorites.
Very nice. I mean, it sounds fairly equal there.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it that way. I actually don't lead an alliance for kind of that reason, so that I can stay slightly impartial. I mean, I'm in an alliance, but I don't want to lead one if I can help it, because it just gives me too much voting power, if you will. So I try to keep things super on the level. I don't like backdoor shady stuff, even though our name is Shade. I like to put it all out in the open. Sometimes my leaders and their assistant leaders are like, Sarge, dude, you post too much. Just stop. And I'm like, hey, I just want you guys to know what's going on, so that there's no reason for you to doubt that this was on the level. So I'd rather tell too much than people be like, oh, Sarge is plotting against me. That's when things go bad.
Yep, I could definitely see that. You got anything else over there, Jay?
Let's see here. Dang, we're at an hour and 12 already.
Right.
Super Duper says, much respect on that and how you run it. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try. I do my best. I mean, no one's perfect, but I'm pretty fair. We have a strike system and things like that. So
very nice. Check you guys' inboxes. You'll get some red envelopes, tickets, and stuff.
Yeah,
you'll be able to get.
Yeah, I've been getting those already.
I just pulled 188 units.
Oh, look at you! Big money.
Hey.
I wish I got that.
But yeah, Lunar Events live.
Yep,
it's all good.
Absolutely.
Hey, look at that! Player of Gods jumped in, unless he was there before.
Yeah, he jumped in and left. It's all good.
He's cool.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to plug before we head out of here?
I don't have anything necessarily to plug. I'd like to give a shout out to Hammy. I know he's on at least he was on. I think he's still on. Man, I tell you, his videos of his boss fights have made the guide so much better, I think, for giving people a place to kind of see stuff quick and dirty on how to fight a boss, and he's a really great partner in this that came on here in the last I guess maybe 5 months ago. I really want to say thanks to Hammy for helping make the guide so much better, because I just didn't have time to record fights. People have been asking for it for a while, but I just didn't have the time. And yeah, Charlie, you good people. And I want to give a shout out to somebody that I don't know, Eduardo on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen him posting. He's like the nicest person I've ever seen on Twitter. So if you see Eduardo, and I would butcher his last name, it's like Balov, I think. Y'all see him, give him a shout out. He's just a really nice person, and he brings joy whenever he posts on anybody's things. I don't know. He's one of those people on Twitter that I'm just like, man, when I see his name pop up as a comment, I'm like, I'm going to go read that because it's always just positive. So, yeah, I appreciate positive people, and I appreciate the community. I don't know. It's been really cool. It's been a great ride, getting to know people and getting to kind of hang out with some of the people that I'd always looked up to early on in the game. It was pretty chill, pretty cool. Nice. And I really thank you guys for having me on. This was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
Of course, you do so much for the community. We always want to give a spotlight and introduce you to new people and get to know the person behind the name.
Appreciate it. It's been great. Thanks for all the questions from the audience too. It's awesome.
Yeah. I love it. I love being live and doing it. It's like one of my favorite things. Hey, Padme says Old Sarge.
All right. Yeah.
Padme
thanks, everybody.
What? I love Padme. She's awesome. She's so sweet.
Yeah, she's saying hello. She said your name.
Oh, hi. I must be on a different chat, or she must be on a different chat.
Yeah. So. I have it up on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Okay. One last question before we end.
Okay.
King Lazarus asks, how are you able to update your blog so quickly after the event quest drops? Do you take the day off work?
No. So I have a lot of the stuff. I think I mentioned this earlier. Pre-positioned, right? All of the monthly stuff is the same. It just cycles through a variation. So I have all that ready to go. I have the website prepped and ready to go. I have all the champ. Well, no, I don't know who's dropping before it drops, but like the two new champs, those, I steal those from Mr. King, or if Aunt May has it up, maybe from there. But usually Mr. King is spot on with that stuff. Sometimes like, hey man, when's that? When are you gonna get that done? Oh, it's coming. I'm like, okay, it's getting close.
I bug him all the time about stuff.
So I have a lot of it done first, and then I usually hit a bunch of it on my lunch break, and then right after work's over, then I just smash through it. Usually my kids leave me alone on that first day, so I can get as much done as possible. And then there's sometimes with work where I'm sitting in a meeting, I'm not going to lie, and I'm just listening to people drone on. So I'll do a path real quick while I'm listening to them talk. But usually it's just lunch, and then right after work, I get off pretty early in the day, and I don't have a commute, so I work from home. So that's nice. That makes the guide get out a lot faster.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Thanks again for coming by and explaining your process and talking to us about MCU and DC and stuff like that. I want to thank Jay for streaming us live, and thank the chat for all their great questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys again. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. I like it.
Heck yeah, man. Hopefully we'll have you back maybe next year.
Yeah, sounds good. It's a date.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Thanks again, everybody, and have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.